most important issue right now. Okay, so the left-wing nutjob media wrote a hit piece about me to try to make me look crazy, but that's okay. That's their job. That's what they do. We expect that from them. But then this last week, leadership of the state GOP party used that very hit piece and spun it into a bunch of different stories. So this week, I've actually heard that they are saying I am too radical in my Christianity, was one of them. The second one was that I'm a witch. The third one was that I have called for all witches to be murdered. The haters need to get their story straight about who I am. They can't figure it out, right? But actually, better yet, how about if I just tell you who I am? I am a 45-year-old Christian woman who's been married for 25 years to my amazing husband, Marshall. We have 4 sons. 3 of them are adults. One of them is in high school. So we're almost done with that stage of our life. They're amazing sons. I've spent most of my adult life being a stay-at-home mom, pouring into them, and it has paid off. I have 4 sons who are going to be great citizens in the state of California. I am a conservative patriot that loves my country, and I am a California girl born and raised. Now, some things that I believe. I believe that Joe Biden was absolutely right when he painted on the side of his campaign bus, "We are battling for the soul of this nation." Boy, are we battling for the soul of this nation. And then I also think he was telling us the truth when he told us that he had created the most comprehensive voter fraud system ever. Yes, he did, and Alex Padilla helped him, by the way. Alex Padilla's bragged about that too. I believe that California is pregnant with promise, and that if liberals were not ruining it and driving it into the ground, it has potential to be the best state in the country by far. I really don't even think it's close. And I believe that the conservative worldview really is the superior way. We offer the better way. We have the truth on our side. We have the better way. But we do need, I think, a better sales pitch, especially to the younger generation, because they have been brainwashed by our liberal schools. I believe that it is my responsibility to do everything I can do to pass on to those 4 amazing sons the free republic that my parents passed on to me. That's why I'm running for Secretary of State. I actually reached a point where I thought, I'm losing my country, and I need to be able to look into my son's eyes and say, with conscience, I did everything I could do. So I don't want to run for Secretary of State. I mean, no thanks. I have a great life. But we're losing our country, and the problem at its core, one of the main problems, is election issues. And so that's why I'm running for Secretary of State. I believe that that is crucial to getting our country back. And I do say getting it back, because I think it's already been taken and we need to get it back. I believe that our future will be very bright when we really learn what we the people mean. What does that mean, we the people? And when we learn what our constitutional rights and authority are, and we use them to the max. I believe it's a terrifying and exciting time to be alive. And if we are alive, and it seems like most of us are, then we were born for this. We can do this. We can do this. And here's my most controversial view of them all. I don't believe this is a war between Democrats and Republicans at this point. I believe it is a war between good and evil, light and dark, right and wrong. And here at the CRA, I can tell you, we are on the right side of the war. But we have infiltrators in the state party, and we need to identify them and get them out. Thank you. So I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is the cavalry is coming. And the bad news is, it's us. It's us. And since it is us, we need to think in terms of this being an all-hands-on-deck situation. Every single person in here has a role to play, which I know I'm preaching to the choir. You're already doing your part. I am sure of that. But as for me, my part of the Calvary is elections. I am hyper-focused on our election issue, what the problems are, and how to solve it. So right after the 2020 election, I began diving in and looking into what in the world just happened. And then I learned a lot. And so then I began looking into what are the solutions? And especially what are the solutions if we can't even get an honest election to get the people in who can provide the solutions? So it's complicated. I do have solutions, though, and I can tell you I have invested 2 years of my life already as a private citizen trying to figure out how I can give California an honest election. I am ready to jump in and get the job done. Most Americans do not believe that we have honest elections right now. That's a huge problem. Maybe they believe that because just in California alone, there were 2 million voting and registration irregularities just in the 2020 election. 2 million. There were 1.8 million more voters on our rolls than there should have been. There were 100,000 people that changed their place of birth right before the election from another state to California. And there were 33,000 people that changed their place of birth, of record, from another country to California right before the election. You might wonder, with those things being public information that the Secretary of State has access to, why did they certify that election? That's a great question. That's a great question. And she should have to, well, Alex Padilla should have to answer it, but she now should have to answer to what she's doing. Shirley Weber needs to go. So approximately 20 years ago, the left really started targeting certain positions in the state, and Secretary of State was one of those main positions. Why? Because it doesn't matter who you vote for, it matters who counts the vote. So we've got governor candidates and Senate candidates and congressional candidates, and I'm becoming friends with some of them and love them to death, and I'm so excited they're stepping up to take our country back. But if we do not get the right Secretary of State in, nothing else matters. I promise you, Rachel Hamm for Secretary of State is the most important message you can be spreading right now. I have just a little over 2 minutes, so I'll tell you a few things that I think that we need to do immediately. I think we need to do away with the large voting centers, go back to small precincts. I think we need to, yes, I think we need to get rid of machines and do paper ballots with a hand count. And, I mean, voter ID is like such common sense. It's so stupid, and both sides agree, but that has to go through the legislature. But I can tell you, as Secretary of State, I will be hounding them to pass that because it's stupid that we don't have it, okay? So yes, absolutely, we need to do that. I want to also live stream our vote count. So if we have really small precincts, remember when we used to vote in people's garages? That's where I first voted, in a garage. Okay, I want to go back to those neighborhood precincts. So it's a very small vote. And then at the end of the night, think about this, you guys, so exciting. We have live stream, we have 3 different camera angles that's being streamed to 3 different places in case one goes down or one, whatever. And we live stream your precinct count. So at the end of the night, you tune in, log in, and watch. 1 vote for Donald Trump. That's right. 1 vote for Donald Trump. 1 vote for Donald Trump. 1 vote for Donald Trump. So I hopefully you already know this, but the person that the state person at the GOP got to drop in to run against me was to intentionally sabotage my campaign. What on earth? I would have sailed through the primary. I was the only Republican running. You need to know that there are 2 men actually running against me now, but you need to know that as a woman, like it or not, I have a 5 to 7 point advantage in the state of California over any of my male opponents. Let's not be stupid. They're going to have a woman running. We need to win. I need to be the one running against her. I can beat her. I will beat her, and I look forward to it. So I would really appreciate it if you would give me your endorsement, if you would give me your vote, if you would spread my name like wildfire so that we can save the great state of California, because I really believe that California is the land of promise. And that's not just a term, it's so rich. Let's save it. Thank you for your time. God bless you.